Today is March 4th. I am in a really great space right now, and I realized that my bathroom is like my space. My bathroom is my safe space, child. I currently moved back home with my mom when my lease was up December 28th, and it's so crazy that I'm saying this because I have a testimony, but I'm not ready to share it. But I feel it slowly happening, even me sharing that part. But I moved back with my mom after 3 years, but I have something really exciting happening, and I'm about to move back out. And you know, you do have to kind of, I want to be transparent, but you have to also have discernment. And although I don't have subscribers and like I get like 3 views on this, it's still my personal diary. And one day I know that all my old videos are going to like do numbers or something one day. I don't know, because I'm gonna share a testimony and y'all gonna want to come back and watch these. But right now, these are just my personal visual diaries, like I said, to document my progress, especially because what's about to happen. God is doing a new thing, baby. God is doing a new thing, and I'm excited about that new thing that he's doing because God truly keeps his promises. I asked God to use my voice and to use me and work through me before I recorded this, because I don't really know what to say, but I have something to share. I have to use my voice. And when I created this channel, like, I know that my gift is to speak and to encourage. And it's a verse in the Bible. I believe it's in Romans. I know it's in Romans, but I don't want to be wrong, but it's in Romans. And it's like, you know, if you have a gift to encourage, encourage. If you have a gift to prophesy, prophesy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your gift is, use it. And especially with us being a part of the body, when you're a child of God, you're a part of the body. You know what I'm saying? And so you're supposed to use your gifts so that we can all work together and we can all function. And so when you're not showing up and using your gifts and working in your purpose, then you're not being obedient. You know what I'm saying? Being obedient is super scary. Hearing God's voice is great, but it can be scary because you have to be obedient when you hear his voice, or you know what I'm saying, then it goes away. Also, obedience is, you know, people ask, how do you hear God's voice? But being obedient and striving to be righteous is a way to hear God's voice. And it looks different for everyone. And it's no proper way to really just kind of explain, like, because it really is your voice, God's voice, and then the enemy's voice. It gets tricky. But I promise, when you really have a relationship with Jesus and you really be in your word, you gonna know. You gonna know what voice is what. Because for me, usually God's voice is kind of like, I think it started looking different for me. At first it was like having the urge to do something, and it's a positive thing, but being afraid. That's God's voice. And when you're trying to get away from something and going back into temptation and stuff, like anything that's not positive, anything that's not good and moving you forward, that's not of God, you know? And to know what God wants you to do, you have to be in your word. And I know it seems so cliche and people say it often, but it's the truth. It's life-changing. And for real, ask for understanding. You see people say that too. Before you read the word, ask for understanding and the eyes to see and the ears to hear when you are reading in the Bible. Because every time I reread, I can have read something 5 different times, and on that 6th time I read it, I take something different from it. Woo! I can't talk, child. I can't talk. But I reread it that 6th time and I'll take something different from it, or I understand it in a different way or in a higher way. And we're all on our own level spiritually. Some of us are in higher places spiritually, and some of us are not there yet. And it's like, even for me personally, it's hard finding people who relate to me with where I am spiritually. I know there's people that's like even in a like higher place of understanding and just, you know, operating in a certain type of way, but it's hard for me to find people who relate to where I am spiritually. And so a lot of times I feel lonely and I feel isolated and like nobody understands me. But I know my community and my village and stuff will find me, and even with me being in a certain place, I know that I can still help others who may be trying to, you know, get to maybe where I am or whatever in their journey. And so it's beautiful being in tune with yourself and being in tune with God. It's the most beautiful thing. And like the Bible also say, entering through that narrow gate. Not many have the balls to do that, because the wide gate, that is so easy. The wide gate is the earthly world. It's all of the temptations and the stuff that's just like right there, and the sin and all of that. And entering through that narrow gate, choosing to follow Christ and leave everything. I don't know if you can hear that rain, but it's raining and I'm so excited about that. I'm off work, so I love the rain. But entering through that narrow gate, leaving behind everything for Jesus, letting go of relationships and friendships and things, material things and all types of stuff to follow Jesus. A lot of people don't want to do that. If Jesus tell you let go of everything that you got, your business, everything you own, all that, to come with him, are you gonna do it? You probably won't. I'm in a place in my life, baby, I don't care. You can have it all. You can have it all if I can't have Jesus, for real. And so that's why they say it's hard for wealthy people and rich people to enter into heaven, because they take pride in their possessions. And it's like God to take all of that away from you. And so it's like, it's nothing wrong. I had to learn that for myself, because I used to feel so bad for wanting certain things. Like, oh, I want this certain car, I want the high-rise condo with the big windows and this and that. And I used to feel bad for wanting that type of stuff, and God wants us to have that. But you gotta also remember to put God before all of that, put Jesus before all of that when you attain it. It's nothing wrong with it, but also be willing to let it go if he told you to. And if you're in that place to where you can balance that, well, there ain't no balancing when it comes to Jesus. But if you at a place where you know Jesus is above all of that, you good. But if you don't got the spirit, that don't mean nothing, you know. And so I'm just super excited about this new chapter that I'm about to enter, this new era. I always say that I have different seasons. I usually go through 4 different seasons when I enter a new chapter in my life, and those seasons are usually like, I go through 2 big storms, and then I go through 2 transitionings that are like really great. So it's like reaping what you sow. And so what you sow, you know, that storm comes and you feel like, why is this happening? I didn't been doing so much good. I'm sorry. I've been doing so much good. Like, why is this happening? And it's like, hold on. Your harvest season gonna come. Your harvest season gonna come. And so just keep putting out that good. Keep showing up. Keep being a good person. Your harvest season come. Then we go through a storm. Then another harvest season come. Reap what you sow. So what are you doing right now? If you're going through a storm, that's cool, because your harvest is on the way. But what are you doing in the season right now of sowing? What are you doing right now in that season of that storm? Are you still trusting God? Are you still having faith? Are you still believing? Are you still knowing that it's not your understanding? You're not leaning on your understanding. You knowing that God is greater than all. Because a lot of times our circumstances do not make sense to us. They don't make sense. And that's the problem. That's where you're confusing yourself and you're making it harder for yourself, because it's not going to make sense. Things that God do, they don't be making sense until you get there. Then when you get there, it all makes sense. Like, look at the times on your life where you thought you would never get through something. You thought it was the end of the world. You got through it. And now that makes sense. You didn't know why you had to go through that, but now you know. It's all a repetitive cycle. And so for me, I feel like God wanted me to get to the point of knowing that if I did it before, I'll do it again. And I truly understand that now. It's times where I thought that this was the worst day of my life. This is the last day of my life. It can't get worst, and I got through it. I survived 100% of the worst days of my life, and you have too if you watching this. You survived 100% of the worst days of your life. God has did it before. He'll do it again. He'll show up again. He'll show up again. He'll show up again. Come on now. I still bless you in the middle of the storm, in the middle of my trial. I still bless you when I'm in the middle of the road and I don't know which way to go. I'll still bless you. For real, that's the story of my life right now. I cannot sing, but oh my God. That song get me, baby. That song get me. I'm excited to take you on this journey. Me to me, because I'm talking to myself. I'm excited to take you on this journey, girl, of where we're about to go in this next chapter. I've been waiting for this for over a year, and it's finally happening. It's finally happening. You deserve it. You did it. It's about to be so great, so much more than what you expect. And you deserve it all, no matter how you feel. You be so hard on yourself and you deserve it. God showed up for you like he always do. Like he always do. He will never leave nor forsaken. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, because God himself goes before you, girl. Every time. Every time. Woo! I encourage you to stay encouraged and to stay inspired. Whatever you gotta do to get to yourself. I'm not gonna say to get back to yourself, because we change continuously, and you trying to get back to yourself, and you're not gonna ever get back to her. It's time to walk into your new life, into your new character. It's time to turn up. It's time to be more courageous and more fearless and more bold and more true to you, and be who God called you to be. Not who you want to be, but who God already says that you are. Show up and be her. Show up and be that. Time is ticking. Time ticking. What you waiting on, baby? So I just wanted to be obedient and make sure I recorded a new video to drop, because I told myself I was going to be consistent every week, drop a video every week, and that's what I'm about to do. And I feel so good and so blessed, and yeah, I'll be back to talk to you soon about more. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.